up, party people, and welcome back to my channel. The other day I was on Amazon and Ulta and just kind of browsing through makeup products and just looking at all the reviews and seeing, tons of 5-star reviews and 4 stars and 1 stars, and I couldn't help but think, how picky are these people? I know I'm pretty picky because I've tried a lot, but it makes me think like, okay, is this person leaving a 5-star review and they've only tried 2 foundations, so they don't really have a lot to compare it to? Our standards are so different from one person to another, which brings me to this idea, which is a makeup review or like makeup rating challenge. If I were to get on these websites and leave reviews, what would I give these specific products now? So yeah, we're gonna be talking about products that will tackle every rating on a scale of 1 to 5, but with a twist. So I'll be sharing with you guys 1 product I would give a 1-star review to, 2 products I would give a 2-star review to, 3 products I would give a 3-star review to, and so on and so forth until we get to 5 products that I would give a 5-star rating to. Hopefully you guys actually enjoy this video and like the, different twists on, just total product fails versus, product favorites. Like, it's kind of getting everything in between, not just the worst products I've tried and not just the best products that I've tried. We're kind of talking about all the average and mediocre in the middle too. Starting with my 1 product that I would give a 1-star to. This is the Delium Tools 952 Small Rounded Double Dome Blender. So this went viral in 2022. Across the board, everyone that I saw talk about this said this is the best foundation brush ever. It's supposed to blend out your foundation super quick and just leave you with a super smooth, flawless airbrush kind of finish. And what's different about it is that it kind of looks like a paintbrush. It's got like this little cut, like this little divot in the center of it, but it's also bent like right here at the ferrule. And let me tell you, this is the worst foundation brush I've possibly ever used. I tried this with numerous foundations, different types of formulas, different consistencies. I've tried doing the single stroke method. I've tried doing the little slap back and forth method, and no matter what I do, the foundations will just sit on the surface of my skin in a very streaky way. Jumping to my 2-star category. So my 2 products I would give a 2-star to. My first product of the 2 is the e.l.f. Powder Puff. I saw so many reviews saying that this is the best powder puff they've ever tried. It makes your skin look so smooth and poreless. The reason this sucks to me is because the sponge in this is so firm. Like, this is so dense. I don't want to exaggerate and say it feels like you're bouncing your face with a rock, but it feels very heavy and just really dense and firm, and I don't like that. And I find that especially if you're using a powder that has a little bit of coverage to it, or like a tint, it can actually darken the powder and kind of take away your brightness. Also, like, where it's so dense and firm, it has a hard time molding with your fingers. So if you're trying to, bend it up, which is one of the best uses of a powder puff when it comes to like the inner corners or around your nose, your forehead, whatever it may be, you can't really bend it up easily to get in those inner corners because it's so thick and it doesn't really want to mold with your finger. The next one is a foundation that I talked about in a previous video. I'll link it up here. It is the NYX Skin Tint Blurring Bear With Me foundation. I don't know, it's got like 8 different names to it. First off, this was such a finicky product. Like, this is one of those that gave me a different result every day that I wore it. I would say 9 out of 10 days, it looked like ass. Like, I tried different sponges, different brushes, different methods of applying it. I even apply it with my fingers. It would just grab onto every hair, sink into every pore, and just like I said it like cupped into every pore. Like, you could see literally every pore on my face, but not just my T-zone, but even my pores like back here. It was just very, very unflattering. 3 products I would give a 3-star to. I feel like the majority of products I try fall in the 3-star category. So I'm jumping back on here. I think I filmed this video in 2023. It is now July 2024. I have some edits to make. Number 1, I feel like a lot of the things I talked about are kind of outdated because it was filmed in 2023. Maybe I felt like some more details needed to be added. Yeah, you're gonna see me in this attire circa July 2024 in a few different segments in this video. So my first 3-star is going to go to the viral unbrushed detangling brush. So this is between $15 and $20 depending on where you find it. The only reason I'm putting it in the 3-star category and not less is because it will brush your hair out eventually. But I was so disappointed in this brush because literally everyone I heard talk about this said that this was the absolute best detangling brush ever. It seems like it detangles pretty well on most people. So what's supposed to be special about this brush is the position of the bristles. And this would be a great time to actually pull it out and show you, but it's packed away in my luggage right now and I don't feel like going and getting it. So just just imagine. So the bristles on the unbrush are parallel like this. So there's gaps. Like just imagine all the bristles, like the spacing, you can see through them. Whereas with a lot of other brushes, if you look at it from the side, like they're crossing each other, which is said to be what tangles the hair up and snags it. So I have very fine hair, but I have a lot. It's very dense. And my hair is very prone to tangling. With the unbrush, it just rips through my hair. I've also used it on my daughter who has very tangly, curly, fine but dense hair, and it just rips her poor little head around. It just does not detangle curly hair, and it's supposed to be good for curly hair too. I don't get the hype in it. So this next one is actually one that I'm salty about, okay? Like I'm actually salty about this because I spent $54 on a foundation that is not worth, I don't know, 10. That is the Dior Forever Skin Glow 24-Hour Wear Radiant Foundation. And this is honestly one of the things that kind of inspired this video from the get-go. Like I was looking at reviews of this and just seeing how many 5 stars it got. I was just like, how many foundations have you people tried to consider this to be a 5-star foundation? This is so basic. And granted, like everyone I saw review this and rave about this had perfect skin, you know, no blemishes, no acne. Yeah, it's just a like satiny, glowy foundation. I would say the most you can get from this is maybe medium coverage. But even that, like I had a hard time building up to get that. It doesn't wear any better than anything else in my collection, like any of my other favorite foundations. It doesn't stay on the skin better. It's not like it never gets cakey or never looks powdery. It does nothing at all special. The Flower Beauty Gloss Crush Lip Serum. So I actually just talked about this in a previous video. I've really been into lip glosses lately that I don't have to use a lip liner with. Like I just want something I can just throw on the go in the car and not have to worry about being super precise. I'm usually in a hurry, so I usually don't have time to apply lip liner. And these just didn't meet my needs. These are pretty sheer. There's barely any color payoff to them, so you could get 3 or 4 shades and they probably all look alike on the lips. There's a little more color payoff and differentiation with them at first, but after about an hour of wear, they just turn clear on me. They do have a hydrating feel to them for the 1 hour that they're on my lips, but especially if you reapply them and you don't take off the residue, it builds up this really sticky, heavy quality, and it loses its comfortability. 4 products I would give a 4-star rating to. This is by far the easiest category for me because I think that even some of my favorite products, like even some of the best products that I try, are 4 stars versus 5 stars because I think almost everything has flaws. Like there's something that you could change with almost everything. The L'Oreal True Match Tinted Serum Foundation. Okay, we all know the packaging, it sucks. But I will say there is a fix to this. If you haven't seen it already, let me be the one to share the knowledge with you. These pumps from Amazon, you can get a pack of 2 just to show you that it does work. As you can see, works perfectly. It pumps out a good amount. Like you have a nice control over it. So yeah, this is definitely a perfect fix to the bad packaging issue. But my biggest problem with it is that the shade range sucks. I've tried, no joke, 4 or 5 different shades, and I have to mix 2 to actually get it to work for me. So I've got medium right now and very light. So mixing these 2 together, it does work fine. But $30 to $40 on a drugstore foundation, and then $8 for the pumps that I bought with it. So there's a couple more things I wanted to add about the foundation because I felt like I was kind of fixated on the negatives, and I don't think that's completely fair, especially if I'm putting it in the 4-star category. Listen, sometimes my negative side it runs amok, okay? So in terms of the effect, it has a really nice, youthful, plumping, juicy, hydrated look on the skin. It doesn't look like it's a drugstore product at all. It looks very high-end. This is one of those, though, that the finish will kind of depend on your skin prep, your skin type, like what you have going on underneath. This can look really glowy, very dewy, but it can also look kind of semi-matte too, depending on how hydrated your skin is. And I talked earlier about how there are good days and bad days with products, and the bad days will kind of make or break it for me and take what I would have originally rated something as maybe a 5-star down to a 4-star. And this is definitely one of those cases for me because whenever I initially started using it in the first several times, it was like every single day was a good skin day. But there have been days where I feel like it's looked kind of heavy on my skin and it's kind of settled into creases, or it just looks overall a little too makeup-y. It's probably me just applying my layers too heavily, so definitely keep it very thin. So yeah, that on top of the fact that the shade range sucks, I can't find a perfect shade, and then having to invest a lot of money into a drugstore foundation, that's why I'm putting it at 4 stars. Back again with an updated product. So this is the CoverGirl 3D Eye Enhancer Mascara. This is the original video up here, so you can check it out in action, see how it goes on, how it applies, all that good stuff. It's a very fast acting mascara, which I love. Again, I'm pretty much always in a hurry whenever I'm applying my makeup, so I don't have time to spend 15 minutes applying mascara before I actually see the effect of it. I only need one layer for it to look good. It gives a lot of volume, length, separation, that really pretty kind of elongated doll-eyed look. The wand's great on it. It's a nice curved wand, so it just hugs to the lashes really nicely. It doesn't flake, smudge, smear, transfer, nothing like that. I've got literally no problems in terms of longevity. The reason I feel like it's more of a 4-star product versus a 5-star product for me though is because it's one that if I layer it, it can kind of piece the ends of my lashes together. Like it can kind of make the tips of my lashes kind of jolt into each other and look very puny, very thin and stringy. And it's very easy to go overboard and not realize that it's about to happen. I really don't have any major complaints. It's just I don't like how it can make the tips of my lashes look if I apply too much. The Revlon Skin Caring Illuminance Foundation. I also have an entire video dedicated to this. I'll link it up here for a full-on review. It looks like an expensive foundation. Like it performs the way I would expect this $54 Dior foundation to perform. It really is like a skincare makeup hybrid. Like it truly looks like there are really good for your skin ingredients in it. Dare I say, one of the most beautiful foundations I put on my face. However, it's not long wearing for me. I still think this is something that everyone should try at least once. I'm updating another original 4-star because I felt like I talked about the product way too much. So I'm switching it out with these right here. So these are the new Maybelline Sunkissed liquid blushes. I'm actually wearing both of these on my face right now. I've got Shades On as my liquid bronzer and then the shade Blazing Blush, this cool toned like bubblegum pink on my cheeks. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with these. I love the color payoff. I love how they go on. They're very long wearing for me. I feel like these will wear for hours and hours before they start fading off. I've got 2 big problems with these. Number one, I feel like the longer I wear them, like especially after a very long wear day, they can kind of look dry and powdery, which is weird and doesn't make sense because they're a liquid. And then secondly, which is probably my biggest problem with them, is that the shades that have sparkle or glitter in them, and they'll say in the description, the way they word it, they'll call it golden pearls, metallic pearls. So those are the ones that by the end of the day, the color will fade off and I'll be left with sparkle and glitter on my face, which is no bueno, okay? No es bueno. Otherwise, I love them. Like, I love the fact that they're easy to mix. They're a good blend. So, I mean, I do think these are really good. 5 stars. These are the ones that I have nothing but good things to say about them. So number 1 is the Milani Anti-Gravity Mascara. This is one that I've talked about so many different times on my channel. Like, I've given you guys more than enough follow-up on this. It will always give me the most beautiful, voluminous, long, separated, dramatic lashes. Like, it's one of the best mascaras I've ever tried. Like, it is definitely one of my favorite mascaras I've ever tried. It checks off all the boxes for me. These are the Ulta Beauty 12-pan eyeshadow palettes. These are one of my favorite eyeshadow formulas. So the first one I tried is the Everyday Faves palette. So this is just a really good everyday palette. It's got pretty much everything I need with the exception of like a black. Like if this had a black, like a matte black where I could use it as shadow liner, I would be unstoppable. These look so mundane and dull and lackluster in the pans, but the matte formula is so smooth, buttery, soft, easy to work with. They're pigmented, but not overly pigmented to where it takes a long time to blend everything out. You could literally create an entire in-depth look with this in a matter of maybe 8 minutes. Then the shimmers are so smooth and finely milled. Like the shimmer in these is so micro fine that it doesn't enhance texture or dryness or anything on your eyelids. Because I love this one so much, I went back and got the warm tone palette. So this is called Desert Skies. I've really been into peachy orange undertones lately, and this is perfection to me. Go in Ulta, swatch these on your hand, like actually touch them, and then you'll see what I'm talking about, and then I'm telling you, you'll be hooked. The Wet n Wild Shadow Silk Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade Neutral Terra. I've tried a lot of cream liquid eyeshadows lately that just, there's something off about them. Like either they dry down too fast, or after like an hour, like it starts melting and creasing and fading and just doesn't hold up at all. This one is the perfect consistency and texture because it doesn't dry down too fast. Like when it dries, it does set to where like it's not going to go anywhere, but it doesn't dry down so fast to where I don't have any work time with it, like play time. I've got time to blend it out and to perfect it to make sure there's no harshness. I do wish they would have more matte shades though, because it seems like the majority of the shades that they have are shimmers. And the color of this this Neutral Terra is that perfect one and done eyeshadow color. The e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Finish Foundation. I have an entire video dedicated to a review and wear test of it, so check it out up here. This surprised me. They call this a medium buildable coverage. It definitely is that. In my opinion, the buck stops at medium coverage. Like, I'm not going to get a whole lot more than that. I do feel like I have to use a lot of product to cover up my entire face. Like, I feel like this is one of those foundations where a little bit doesn't go a long way. But this is such a long-lasting foundation. It has been up in the 90s every single day. I've had a lot of long wear days with this. I think the longest I've worn this is about 14 hours, I want to say. And I kid you not, it never looks bad. It stays looking so flawless and it's so natural. That's what's so weird about it. Like, it holds up so well and it keeps all my cheek products on, but it never looks makeup-y. Another palette that I feel like deserves a 5-star is this one from Moira Cosmetics. This is the Chasing Eternity palette. This is literally the perfect everyday palette for me. And it should probably go without saying. I mean, it's a 5-star, so obviously the formula is really good. But yeah, no wear issues, no blending issues. That is it for this video. Let me know if you like this style reviews, like if you like hearing about, you know, the good, the bad, and then everything in between. And if you want to see more of these, maybe we can make it a series. Just let me know by giving this video a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already, and turn the notification bell on to always see my stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.